Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Here are the most interesting TikTok video compilation. Please enjoy, like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Never leave your clothes outside at night, even if you just wash them. It might seem like a harmless way to dry your laundry, but in many spiritual traditions and Asian folklore, this is considered a dangerous invitation to the spirit world. Let me explain. Clothes are not just inanimate objects. They retain the unique shape and energy imprint of the person who wears them. When you leave them hanging outside in the darkness, they essentially become empty vessels floating in the wind. It is widely believed that wandering spirits, particularly those looking for a body to possess, are drawn to these human-like silhouettes. They mistake the hanging garments for living people, or see them as convenient shells to inhabit. But here is the most terrifying part. If a spirit attaches itself to your favorite shirt, it doesn't just stay outside. When you bring that laundry in, you are physically carrying that entity into your sanctuary. And the moment you put that clothing on, you are wrapping your body in their dead energy. This is often the unexplained reason why people feel sudden heaviness, erratic mood swings, or chronic bad luck after wearing specific items. Some warnings suggest that once the fabric touches your skin, the attachment begins to drain your life force. So, take a look at your clothesline. Is it worth the risk? Let me know in the comments if you leave laundry out at night. Like, follow, and share to save your friends from wearing a ghost.
There is 100% no such thing as a firmament or flat earth. But look at this. I ran across this photo. Online sources are claiming that NASA released this photo to prove that the Earth is not flat. However, is surrounded by an ice wall that leads to the actual Earth that is in fact round. So look at this photo, and then let's circle back and discuss. Now, I do not believe that that was released by NASA in any way, shape, or form, but me being me, I did fall down the rabbit hole and wanted to know more about this. Like, I'm sure you're aware that people believe that there's an ice wall that we call Antarctica. And if you go beyond that, there's an entire world that lies in the realm of fairy tale and myth. People believe Asgard is there. Yeah, the home of Thor, or Atlantis is still there, outside of the ice wall. And the only way you can get to the other side of the ice wall is to go under the ocean and pop out on the other side, based on the photo I just showed you. I have to say, the craziest thing about this theory in general is these people don't think that space exists. Like what I'm looking at right now. But collectively, what would be the purpose of an ice wall in the first place? Was the ice wall created by man, by myth, by legend, or was it always there? Now here's another detail I find very fascinating is there are alleged maps of this world outside of the ice wall. Take a look at these. Now, I'm not claiming these are real, I'm just saying take a look at them. Now, me personally, I'm not saying that I do or do not believe in this theory because I have witnessed and experienced firsthand supernatural and otherworldly things my entire life. So I know for a fact that our existence and our history has been fabricated. But I want to know what you think. And I also want you to look at this photo. That photo, I do not believe in that theory one bit. I do not believe that the earth is flat and that we are underneath a dome. And if we get too close to the edge, we're going to fall off. No, but I do love hearing that a lot of flat earthers are changing their tone now and believe that there is an ice wall around our earth that is connected to a larger globe that is in fact our true earth. But I want to know what you think. Have you heard any of this? I find this absolutely fascinating, and I want to have this conversation with as many of you as possible.
There's a theory that the Bermuda Triangle, you know what it is? It's that little triangle. Well, it's a big triangle in Bermuda
where everyone gets lost.
If they travel onto or they enter this area, they go missing.
Fact.
People say they travel to a next dimension. Just something happens and they just go missing. The theory is crystals.
What?
There's a theory that there's crystals underneath, or a giant amount of crystals underneath the Bermuda Triangle specifically.
Oh, nah. That's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Like that shit. No, that's why.
So, but before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Phones were being spied on by a blue radio app. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately. This is actually real.
Yeah.
If you take a crystal and you use there's like a electromagnetic reader. It can pick up different frequencies depending on which crystal is there, and like it has different sets of powers.
Yeah.
Now, the reason people like take crystals and use it for their powers and blah blah is because they believe they can use that to channel like different energies, different frequency, right? What if like the natural formation there just so happen it's a lot, and what happens with that, it kind of conflicts with our freaking reality.
Yeah.
And that's why all this weird shit happens. That's why planes go missing. That's why people go missing on boats. And that's why it became the Bermuda Triangle. What if that area is just specifically surrounded by freaking crystals, bro?
Yeah. But is it 100% that actual people go missing?
Yeah.
Like they never like came back?
That's what it is, bro. That's what it is.
So where the fuck do they go?
Nobody knows.
So y'all saw what was floating over the ocean in Sydney, Australia this weekend, right? The black, terrifying mass that was just floating over the ocean? No? Well, if you haven't, don't worry. I'm going to show you at the end of this video, those videos, so stay for that. But yeah, in Australia this weekend, a dark, black, ominous, terrifying mass-like cloud was just seen and videoed floating over the ocean. Now, I did a little bit of research because obviously scientists are going to say that it's of natural causes, and it's something called a scud cloud. But I'm going to tell you what I believe. I believe it's a portal opening, and I believe it's something from another dimension breaking through. Now, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. You make up your own mind when you see the video. But the video looks very similar to other things that I've seen when I've been going down rabbit holes about portals opening. But I'm not here to tell you to believe one thing or the other. You make up your mind. That's not my call. However, also in Australia, they just confirmed that they're building the world's first black box to record the demise and destruction of the Earth. So over the weekend, coming out of Australia, we have this black-like cloud just floating over the ocean, you'll see. And now Australia is creating the world's black box that's going to record our destruction. Now, remember, anything we talk about is for education, conversation, learning, and entertainment purposes only. So take what you will, leave what you don't want. That's not for me to decide your life. Now, watch the video and let me know in our conversations today what you think it is, because I know what I think it is.
Rumors that behind the wall in Antarctica hide a whole unexplored city have been around for quite some time, but primary evidence that it exists appeared only recently and only in Darknet. As far as is known, Antarctica is considered the coldest and most unfavorable continent for any tourist. Monstrous wind gusts that literally knock people off their feet and impassable snowdrifts limit any travel for ordinary people. However, at the same time on the continent is located to an insane amount of equipment, of military and scientists from different countries. And such activity in Antarctica is not without reason. Everyone knows that there is an ice barrier, the length of which is thousands of kilometers. In some places of this barrier, there are tunnels where you can sail freely even on a huge ship. And just like that, they are very strictly guarded. And secretly from us, there's still work going on, and something is being studied. However, these vague shots, which accidentally leaked into the network, shocked many people. This is not a polar explorer's base as it seems at first glance. When the video was brought as close as possible and the blurriness was removed, it was discovered that the footage showed a real ice metropolis.
So you're saying none of us are actually from Earth?
Not the Earth you think you know. The 7 continents we live on aren't our birthplace. They're a containment zone, a prison sealed off by the ice wall.
A prison for who?
For us, we're descendants of people who once lived beyond the wall, civilizations so advanced and defiant they couldn't be controlled. So long ago, someone made a decision: isolate them, populate these continents with carefully selected descendants, erase their memories, erase their origins.
You're saying we are not natives here?
Exactly. We were placed here. Richard Constantine orchestrated what's called the Great Placement. He found these untouched lands inside the ice wall and realized they could serve as the perfect cage. But how do you populate entire continents? Embryos. He harvested them from the ancestral lands, raised the first generation just enough to survive, then released them, let them believe they were inventing fire, tools, agriculture, when it was all designed.
So, all of human history is staged?
Absolutely, and for my safety, it is just for entertainment purposes.
1 second. Right, I believe we have some footage that has been taken on a mobile phone. Let's have a look at it.
Something happened on the coast of Northern Ireland that no scientist wants to explain. A drone captured a section of the Giant's Causeway, moving like a sealed stone door. It opened for seconds, exposed something inside the cliff that investigators later described as deeply disturbing.
Which means he's built by somebody, someone bigger than us, someone better than us.
Then closed again without leaving a trace. Tourists felt the ground tremble. From the collapsing cliff bunker in China to the hidden Scottish pyramid and the Myra tombs that show signs of movement, the world holds terrifying anomalies. What appeared in Ireland now joins that list, and it may be the worst one yet. The moving rock door. The coastline of Northern Ireland is known for its cliffs and basalt columns, but nothing prepared investigators for what a drone recorded at the Giant's Causeway. A tourist launched the drone to capture the formations from above. As the camera hovered near a tall section of interlocking basalt pillars, one slab of stone shifted. It moved outward in a slow, controlled motion. It exposed a dark opening behind it. Several witnesses on the ground saw the same movement. Before anyone could react, the slab slid back into place. The rock sealed itself again. It looked completely solid. There was no gap where the opening had been. The basalt surface looked untouched, as if it had never moved at all. The investigation became far more serious when the first sonar sweep of the hidden cavity returned results that no one expected. The chamber behind the basalt door was not empty. The scan showed several tall, upright forms inside the hollow space. Their outlines were narrow and steady. They looked like human bodies, but they were far taller than any known ancient or modern population. The forms stood in an even line, spaced apart at exact intervals. The arrangement looked intentional, as if the figures had been placed there rather than formed by accident. Scientists who reviewed the scans in private admitted that the discovery did not match any known geological process. One geologist explained that basalt did not naturally form around objects in such perfect upright positions, unless the objects were already standing in place before the rock hardened. Another expert pointed out that the chamber's interior showed signs of rapid cooling. This meant the figures inside the space could have been trapped during a sudden volcanic event thousands of years ago. A violent eruption could have forced extremely hot material through underground cavities. Anyone standing inside the chamber at that moment would have been sealed inside when the molten basalt cooled and hardened. The posture of the forms supported this idea. They had been upright, not collapsed or lying down, which suggested they were caught without warning. The fear increased when sensors placed near the chamber detected faint vibrations behind the rock wall. The movement passed through the stone in a slow, repeating pattern. Researchers believed the vibration came from pressure shifts inside the sealed cavity, but some admitted it could be related to the figures inside. Authorities refused to release the sonar images. They denied all reports of humanoid silhouettes inside the causeway. They claimed the basalt door was a natural illusion and insisted that no internal chamber existed. At the same time, they quietly restricted access to the exact section of the formation where the opening had appeared. Scientists who continued monitoring the site remained uneasy. The UK's secret pyramid. People expect pyramids in Egypt. They expect them in Mexico. No one expects to find one hidden deep in the Scottish Highlands. Yet a granite pyramid stands there in the middle of an endless forest. The most disturbing part is that almost no one knows it exists. Queen Victoria ordered this pyramid to be built in 1861 after the death of her husband, Prince Albert. Her grief was overwhelming and began shaping her daily life. Historians often speak about Victoria's mental collapse after Albert died. She became fixated on mourning practices that were unusually intense even for her era. She wore black for the rest of her life. She demanded her servants keep Albert's belongings untouched. She forced the palace atmosphere into a state of permanent mourning. When someone reaches this level of obsession, it is natural to question whether she wanted something more from this pyramid than simple remembrance. This is why some researchers believe the structure may hold meanings that go far beyond a memorial. It may reflect a dark fascination with death that she never spoke about openly. The pyramid is 41 feet tall and perfect in shape. It sits alone on a hill inside Balmoral Estate. 10 other stone cairns surround the area.
I was watching Pixar movies when I noticed something. Check it out. This code is hidden in all Pixar movies. It's a secret code. It also appears in other movies. Take a look. This code is a secret message from the director of Pixar. While you're at it, tell me, what's your favorite Pixar movie? This is mind-blowing. But wait, there's more. But do you know what it means, A113? Write in the comments. I love Pixar movies.
Everyone laughed at this Shrek scene, but it hides a terrifying secret. Everyone thought the dragon ate the knights who tried to rescue Fiona. But what if I told you that's a lie? What if the princess locked in that tower wasn't Fiona at all? The lost princess had golden hair, while Fiona has iconic red hair. Here's where it gets disturbing. The lost princess was never rescued. Every knight who tried to save her was turned into soup. Fiona is an ogre, and ogres eat humans. So if the knights disappeared, it wasn't because of the dragon. The blonde princess didn't turn into an ogre. She became the dragon. That's when it hit me. When the dragon meets Shrek, she immediately tries to kiss him. She believed true love's kiss could break her spell. Shrek thought he saved the princess, but he didn't. He rescued Fiona and left the real princess behind. The dragon stayed trapped in that body for the rest of her life. I can't believe this.
It is hard to believe, but someone finally managed to translate and read it. This is the Voynich manuscript, and today only a few unclear lines and strange words remain unsolved. It took more than 100 years to decode and translate its mysterious pages filled with unknown symbols and drawings. Over a century ago, a Polish collector bought this book and had no idea what these strange stories were trying to say. But with time, researchers cracked part of the code and realized the text was written in a language that later became the base for French and Italian. The most unusual thing is that some words sound surprisingly familiar, and if you type Doomsday Book in the search, you will see translations that match the same familiar pieces. But the most shocking part is the meaning of certain lines. The manuscript describes past and future global events, and the strange thing is that every described event has come true with almost perfect accuracy. And soon, according to its predictions, something else is supposed to happen. Something most people would rather ignore, but you can check it yourself if you want.
Illumination has been hiding a massive secret for years, connecting Sing, The Secret Life of Pets, and Despicable Me right under our noses. I didn't notice it at first, but these movies are all happening in the same world. Check this out. In The Secret Life of Pets, you can see a poster for the Sing auditions being advertised on the back of a van. Same posters. That means Sing and The Secret Life of Pets exist in the same universe. And in that same movie, you can actually see a familiar guy walking through Central Park. And I was shocked when I realized it's Gru. Gru is just casually strolling through another movie, which clearly proves that Despicable Me and The Secret Life of Pets exist in the same world. Now in Despicable Me 3, if you look closely, Mr. Moon's theater where the Sing auditions took place appears exactly the same. Same building, same design, meaning Despicable Me and Sing also exist in the same universe. This is crazy.
Is the Illuminati real?
I think they are.
Does she? She's telling the truth.
And don't you even think that that's because I'm a part of it?
Are you sure you're human?
No.
Truthful.
And don't you even think
that that's because I'm a part of it? Are you sure you're human? No.
Truthful. Like a broken record on repeat, how many times have I said this myself? Should we say it one more time? Karmic retribution is a system they believe in, and they have to tell you in some way, whether it's subliminal or to your face and disguised as comedy, but they have to tell you their plans and they have to tell you what they're doing because they believe that bypasses karma for the wickedness and the things that they do. But try explaining that to a sea of sheep. I'd get a better response talking to this battery, literally.
These images from Antarctica were filmed 65 years ago and were kept secret ever since. What you're about to see was hidden from the public for decades. A few years ago, one of the members of a secret Antarctic expedition decided to reveal the original footage, and what he showed completely changes how we see our world. According to him, Antarctica isn't just a frozen continent, it's a portal to another realm. On your screen, you can see one of the first recordings. An iceberg that looks nothing like the others. You can clearly see strange markings, patterns, even symbols across its surface. And the most bizarre part? It moves. Not like floating ice, but like a ship. But what if I told you this wasn't an iceberg at all, but a passage to another world? The footage shows how the team approached the iceberg and found an entrance that looked like a cave. They decided to go inside, and what they saw next looked nothing like our world. For 2 days, they filmed strange structures and landscapes, but found no signs of life, except for one mysterious creature. If you want to see it for yourself, search on TikTok, Forgotten Beast.
Oh, you put that thing on the... Woo! You think Diddy was the villain? Okay, he is, but he's still less dangerous than these two. Diddy was born on November 4th, Jay-Z was born on December 4th, and Beyonce was born on September 4th. That alone is already strange, even if you want to call them coincidences. But then you have Jay-Z releasing an album literally called 444, almost like he was trying to signal that all three of them are connected without ever actually saying it. But the most important person in this whole strange story is this guy, J. Cole. He dropped a song where, according to fans, he subtly disses Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Diddy all at once. Listen very carefully to the lyrics. There's an extra hidden message. He keeps repeating "she knows," but a lot of people hear it as Sean knows. And we know Jay-Z's real name is Sean, and Diddy's real name is Sean. On top of that, Beyonce's last name is Knowles. Yeah, it's not spelled the same, but in music, pronunciation matters more than spelling, especially when you know J. Cole is known for being an extremely technical lyricist. I don't know if people are overanalyzing the hidden messages, but I don't think the connections are fake. Now it's on you to tell me. Do you also think Jay-Z and Beyonce play a special role behind the scenes with other artists, or do you think all of this is just coincidence?
Please note, guys, that these videos are for entertainment purposes only. See you next time.